Man 250 here. This is going to be a video response for Edward. Ed, I enjoyed your video, and I respect it. And I'm not really debating you, because I understand where you're coming from. I'm not a minister or a Bible scholar. The only foundation I have is a great relationship with God. But to get to the point where I'm at, it took myself, and this is, everybody's different, you know, everybody has their personal, but it took me reading the Bible and going to church, and I am Southern Baptist, and that's what it took to get me to this point, or to have a great relationship with God, because I'm going to tell you, the point I'm at now is not the best point I've ever been with God. I'm gonna try to stay on topic and not get down a lot of these rabbit trails. And if something's mentioned in this, and somebody wants to know a little more about it, just leave a comment in the bottom, and I'll try to do a video on certain parts, maybe. And get more in detail. The things you questioned about the Bible, I appreciate you covering the topics. Let me just throw up a few questions, not to contradict anything you've said, because I've had the same questions. And here's what comes into my head, and I know a lot of people don't understand about faith and blind faith. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying I'm led by a lot of blind faith, and to get to that point, I had to pretty much be at a point where I didn't have anything to lose. I was at a bad point in my life, and like you, I have a past that I'm not proud of. A lot of bad things there, and I will not make a video on that, and I will not cover that. So nobody asked about it, but I'm not trying to beat around the bush. I'm trying to say this because everybody will pick apart this video, and I don't mean it to be like that. Okay, the question about Daniel having more than one wife. Many people in the Bible had more than one wife. Okay, God set down a set of, this is just me, and you know, like you said, interpretation is to its own. I just want to present this to you. Just roll around. You can discredit it, discard it, whatever. I just want to throw it out there and have a conversation here. People in the Bible that had many wives. God sets down a set of rules in the Bible, sets down a set of laws on how to live our lives, how to live their lives, but you know, when he was setting them down. Just because it was a law doesn't mean it didn't happen. I mean, we know that today, and especially some of the stuff we're going through right now in this day and age. Just because it's a law don't stop it from happening. And there, you know, yes, some of these people, some of these men in the Bible we're talked highly upon in God's eyes. Every one of us are sinners. I sin every day. I can't even keep up with it on my hands. With that in mind, it doesn't hurt my relationship with God. And Jesus, for what Jesus did on the cross for us, wipes away all your past sins, your present sins, and your future sins. Okay. Sorry, my battery went dead. Okay. All sin is equal. No sin is greater than the other. So, if a man had many wives, he was sinning, going against God's law. I know it said these people who had many wives saw favor with the Lord. The Lord, they had favor with God. And, he could be sinning, and then every week or every day at noon go and sacrifice a calf or a sin offering to God and take care of it. And it's like now, everybody sins, nobody's perfect. Even the saints were sinners. And it's like now, when you get saved and you're living for God, I sin all the time. I sin so much I can't even count it. But I see the Lord blessing me and answering prayers. We have something to strive for, righteousness. But it's not really. I don't look at it as contradicting. I just look at it as telling the true story. Even the saints sinned. It happened, and I'm trying to make this short, and don't think I'm being short or anything with you. And about the science part, the Bible also tells us in Ephesians, and I can't think of the numbers, Ephesians, put on the full armor of God, because we're up against supernatural evil. When they carbon date something back 7 million years, and this is only my opinion, and like I said, it might be my faith taking over and stepping out on a limb, but if they carbon date something 7 million years old, well, there are powers that be that want to discredit the Bible all the time. and maybe it's not even their intention to discredit the Bible, but maybe their formulas are wrong. What if one little number in their formula to come up with a carbon date is wrong, and it adds 3 or 4 zeros just by one little small. Scientists are proven wrong every day. How many years has Pluto been a planet? And then all of a sudden now Pluto's not a planet anymore? So, when you age things scientifically, what if there's a problem with the formula? And instead of being 7 million years old like they think, it's actually only 7,000 years old. It's just my opinion, and Ed, I'm not trying to discredit you. I'm not trying to say you're wrong. I'm not trying to argue at all. I'm just saying some things from my opinion to think about it. Think about it. That's it. Now, I appreciate you throwing that out there. And like I said, I've had some of the same questions, and this is what I've come up with. And like you said, you know, I'm going to lead myself and my family. I do try to spread the gospel. Not really because the Bible tells us. That is part of why I spread the gospel. But it's almost like when somebody makes a video and says, you know, Honeyville Farms is having a sale on freeze-dried peas, $6 a can for number 10 can. You know, you're letting your friends in on something good. You're letting your friends in on an awesome deal. That's why I spread the gospel and the message of God, is because it's so awesome. I want to share it. I want my friends and the people I care about and the loved ones, I want them to feel the awesomeness of God and the awesomeness that comes out of a relationship with God. It's not my intention to try to convert somebody and brag about it. I am fully only doing it because I want to share a great, awesome deal with them. So, you know, as always, Ed, this is Coke Man 250 from the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless, brother. And remember, prep smarter and pray harder.